LUNs, or volumes, are identified on a storage array port by a LUN ID, a numeric ID that's unique to that LUN on that port, or at least unique to a particular server's view of that port. For example, if you've got 5 LUNs presented to a host via a storage port, these LUNs will likely be given LUN IDs 0 through 4 or 1 through 5, though you can change them to any ID values that you want. However, if you have multiple hosts accessing storage via the same storage port on the array, it's common to enable LUN masking so that not all LUNs are visible to all hosts, just like we mentioned on the previous slide. So let's just show our 2 hosts accessing ports 1 and 4 on our storage array again and walk through LUN IDs. As we can see, on each storage port we've created an access control list for each host, so that host Y can only see volume B1 and host Z can only see the G1 and G2 volumes. But importantly, as far as host Y is concerned, LUN ID 1 on both ports relates to the volume B1, Bravo 1. But according to host Z, LUN ID 1 on the same 2 ports relates to volume G1, Green 1. So both hosts have independent and unique views of LUNs and LUN IDs on the same shared ports. Now a quick word of caution. Some operating systems will get confused if you suddenly change the LUN ID of a volume. So if we change LUN ID 1 for host Z from mapping to volume G1 so that it now mapped to volume G2, host Z could potentially get very confused and at worst case corrupt data. So be careful when working with LUN IDs, and if possible, unless you absolutely have to, don't change them. For the record, LUN IDs equate to SCSI IDs. As far as a host is concerned, an HBA is a SCSI bus, and a storage array port is a SCSI target, and LUNs or volumes presented out of these targets are SCSI logical units that are identified by a logical unit number, LUN. That's where we get the name LUN from. Now to change the LU number or the LUN number, we're effectively changing the LUN's SCSI ID. So as we said earlier, be careful when doing that, and only do it if you absolutely have to. Let's finish the lesson now by talking about audit logging.